Welcome to the VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
Continuing our film breakdown series. You guys dug it. You guys really seem to enjoy this. You said, Boogie, give us more. We want more of Coach Jay breaking down film. So that's what we're going to do. And look, we're listening. We are listening to you guys. The plan was this. You can see it on the screen there. In-state kids, Tennessee kids for the class of 24. We've uploaded 2 videos now. We've broken down Caleb Beasley, also broke down Edwin Spillman. Coach Jay was put on the spot. He's got to create his list for in-state kids. Right now, he would prioritize Edwin Spillman as number 1 and Caleb Beasley as number 2. But again, we're going to continue with this. We got Mason Curtis coming up, Marquise Bennett, Jalen Thompson. And again, some of these kids already committed to other schools. We're going to continue to break it down, give you that information. But look, we listen. We hear what you guys say. You said, hey, what about guys that are already committed to Tennessee? What about those guys in the class of 24? So we're going to take a little break for this one. We're going to take a look at Jonathan Echols, 6'4", 230 pounds, 4-star athlete in the class of 24, already committed to Tennessee, committed back in July. Coach Jay, what do you think about those early commitments? Because I made the video when Echols committed, and people saying, oh, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter because we got a long way to go. Well, now here we are in January, still committed, looking good for Jonathan Echols.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to get him in the boat quickly. I think it sets the tone for the class. It sends a loud, clear message that we're still focusing on those edge rushers, that we're still going to prioritize defense, and we know, offense is the engine that keeps the train running, but that defense, if it gets stout, then the sky's the limit, man, and we can start really stacking some special teams on top of special teams.
Echols is a guy that visited back in the summer last year, committed on July the 4th. Again, you can see the 247 Sports profile on the screen. 4-star athlete, Coach Jay mentioned there, more priority as an edge rusher, listed as the 3rd athlete in the class, 6th-ranked player out of Florida, Bradenton, Florida, IMG Academy. We're going to get into the film here in just a second. But I want to ask you about that too, Coach Jay. A lot of people, you talk about IMG Academy. It seems like one of those things. It almost seems polarizing like NIL. People either love or hate a program like IMG Academy. What are your experience with them? What are your thoughts on a school like IMG Academy that some people call basically an all-star team?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around them in some camps. Very well ran program. Obviously, you mentioned it. They get the best of the best, especially out there on that side of the country. It's something we are used to in California, most certainly, with the Catholic school circuit, definitely recruiting from the surrounding cities and kind of pulling the kids they want and kind of getting that same all-star type mentality. So, yeah, it's what you got to do kind of to compete at that super elite high school football level nowadays. But the great thing is when you get a kid from these super big schools, these modern days, these IMG academies, the one in Baltimore is escaping me right now, but there's a couple of them out there throughout the states that are just amazing. And when you get them, these kids are polished, they're well coached and ready to compete, and that's exciting, man. We'll take them as prepared as we can get them whenever we can. That's for sure.
Well, let's jump into some film. That's the name of the series, a film breakdown with Coach Jay, Jonathan Echols. You can see there on this YouTube video, he was at one point a 5-star. The rankings came back out. Now he's listed as a 4-star. But we're going to break down the film, doing things a little different. Again, we're changing, growing, adapting based on your comments. If you see something you like or you don't like, let us know. Coach Jay's picked out a handful of plays. We're going to go through them, starting here with the first play on the screen. What do you see, Coach Jay?
Yeah, first off, we got the offense shotgun formation. Obviously, we got deuces. That's twins to both sides. Got a pretty wide open scheme here. 3-3-5. We got Jonathan coming out of a sprint formation. Looks like about 3rd and 7 passing down here. So, hey, man, as every edge rusher knows, these are where you make your money. This is where you're going to get that NIL check right here. How quickly can you blow by that big tackle and make a play right here? So not much else to it other than pinning your ears back and and getting to the quarterback. Now you could do a switch and replace here and disguise something and drop it back into coverage, but looks like from this freeze frame that Jonathan's already out and has his mind set on hitting somebody. Let's maybe bring it forward a couple seconds and see what we get here. Yeah, so just a straight sprint rush. And what you guys are going to notice about Jonathan right away, you can go ahead and run it back real quick, Boogie, while I talk. But what you're going to know about Jonathan right off the bat is he is super, super fast. He just whoops that tackle around that edge just as fast as we can be. And, one of the things that it creates on this play, Boogie, go ahead and run it back and maybe freeze it a second or two in. Right about here, freeze it. You'll notice all that pressure on that outside opened up that Mike blitz, that monster blitz. And now you got the linebacker coming through the center. Now all of a sudden that back is occupied. We saw in the Orange Bowl, Caleb Beasley do a great job on that Mike blitz. And when you get these elite pass rushers that we're stacking, these Morgan Josephs, these James Pierce, these Shondavian Bradleys, these Jonathan Echols, it just creates so much pressure on that 5 gap, on that 6 gap, on that 7 gap. And it just can wreak havoc when you can create these blitzes, especially someone with this speed. And obviously here he gets around the tackle and the running back is preoccupied with picking up that monster blitz. And we can let it play and see if he can get a nice chase down right here. Good coverage on the back end. It's going to run you down. You got no chance right there, man. No chance whatsoever. So just beautiful work. Once again, a ton of speed from Jonathan Echols.
So we're going to jump to the next one. This play kind of already in progress as the clip starts. So complete chaos from the freeze frame, but you've got Echols out here. They're going to highlight him here in just a second. Let me run the tape and then you can talk about what you see.
Well, obviously we have, and we can't really see where he started out, but it looks like either a show and go or a replace here by Jonathan. They move him around the field a lot. Once again, he's pretty athletic. He reads the flat. You can just keep this one on a loop, probably, Boogie, with the way it goes, and replay it as much as possible until I give you a freeze. But he attacks the flat and he picks it off, and you see some of the value in a defensive end that can play in coverage right here. He's able to break on that flat. He's able to attack the shoulder, and this is going to open up Mike blitzes. It's going to open up your under smoke blitzes. It's going to open up your safety blitzes. It's going to even open up your cornerback blitzes. So when that cornerback comes, he's able to guard that flat. They don't do it here and pick to the ball. And man, I'll tell you, this guy is off to the races. We have a special one here. We won't get into it today, but if you watch this whole film, this kid lines up at running back. This kid lines up at slot. He lines up at the Z. He lines up at the X. He passes the ball. He's doing everything but serving hot dogs in the concession stand. He does it all. And the first thing that comes to my mind is he's just a football player, man. And it might be the highest compliment I'll certainly ever give. I just want 11 football players on that field, and he's a darn football player, I'll tell you that much. So just the way he attacks that shoulder, picks the ball and gets paid, being in coverage, it'd have been really nice to have the wide view of it, but I did want to show it just to show what Rodney Gardner is trying to do with those DNs and show the variables they can have in not only attacking but also in coverage.
You brought up a good point. He plays all over the field. He's taking snaps, quarterback, running back, tight end, edge, linebacker, all over the place. And a lot of people, when he committed to Tennessee, that was when Alex Golesh was still the offensive coordinator. He had a good relationship with Alex Golesh. And a lot of people thought Jonathan Echols was coming to Tennessee to possibly play the tight end position. But when you watch this full 11 minutes, over 11 minutes worth of footage, you got to agree with me. He's going to make money now at the college level with NIL, but also at the next level, his paycheck's at the edge position. No question about it.
Absolutely. And, imagine you're a defensive tackle and you're going against Morvin Joseph or James Pierce, and they're just lightning fast the first two downs. Now, all of a sudden, third and long, you get this kid coming in fresh, uh, full wind in his lungs, and now all of a sudden you gotta block this guy. Forget about it. It's gonna be nasty, and Vol fans should be extra excited about that proposition, Boogie.
Yeah, that's the beauty of stacking recruiting classes. That's what Rodney wants to do, man. Rodney Gardner
Mm.
wants to have, 10 guys that he can rotate on that defensive line, and he's adding elite level talent at the edge position. Here's the next play. What do you see, Coach Jay?
Yeah, we got twins again. Shotgun looks like pro set in the backfield. Echols is going to be on the bottom of the screen here. He's set a little bit on the outside. His keys right here in this defense. They can assign you to back out of the backfield, but really here we're going to be looking for zone read if it's not a replace play. That would be running back opposite side or quarterback to your side, and maybe bring it forward a couple seconds and see what we have. Pause. All right. So once again, he's got backside responsibility here. All our action, all the guard pulls, everything is to the wide side of the field here. And we've talked a lot about Tyree Weathersby in other films and other players uh, turning those shoulders a little too much on the interior and getting sucked inside. Well, on this play, it'd be really easy for Mr. Eccles to do that, but he doesn't do it here. He kind of keeps his feet. You can press play, Boogie. Uh, he keeps his feet, shuffles out, doesn't get too excited. He doesn't need to rip them off. Hey man, what he's what 6'4", 2 whatever. He doesn't need to do anything, man. If you're a quarterback in this situation, you're not going anywhere. Shuffles outside, forces him back inside, attacks the correct shoulder. That quarterback's got nowhere to go except for that inside linebacker and defensive tackle flow. And just great awareness, great responsibility, great gap integrity here. A smart football player. I mean, we were talking about how, he's just an athlete and he plays all over the field, but you add intelligence to that and it's a beautiful thing. And Jonathan plays the position the right way. That's for sure. All right. Are we at the
On
next
the
one,
next.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got another shotgun formation. We got single wing again. Single wing would be that tight end split behind the left tackle on the short side of the field, right over Mr. Eccles. Twins to the right, and looks like that twins in a very familiar formation to Vol fans. Little stack formation, not quite as wide on this one here. Uh, so once again, just that zipper and that squirrel receiver stacked, and we can go ahead and run it for a second and see what we get. Maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Quarterback's going to drop back. I mean, you can you can tell this team schemed for him here. That this is a double team for Jonathan. He meets it, ass down. He's got his hands in front of him. Good hand position. He's able to push off and get off. We talk about push off, get off. Keeps his feet scrape, scrape, scrape. Shoulders square. Beautiful hit. Gets those big, strong hands on that ball. I'll tell you, I think I looked it up. This guy's got some kind of ridiculous wingspan, like like 7'8" or something absolutely ridiculous like that. And you can see he gets his weak side arm around that ball and pulls the ball out. Just another thing that can't be valued enough with defensive ends. They get a lot of blindside hits, a lot of scrape down hits, and whenever you can get that ball out, he gets it out. And I think I looked it up. I think he had like 7 forced fumbles on the year. Another thing to be excited about whenever we can put that ball in Josh Heupel's offense hands. We all know what happens there. You can take that to the bank and and cash that check, if you will. All right, we're moving on here. We started out with deuces. We're gonna switch over. Looks like we got motion, trips right. No one follows the motion man, which is a sign that we are in zone coverage, not man coverage. A little tip to people who are new: you ever get a cornerback following a man in motion, it is almost assuredly man coverage here. A little bit of high snap from the center. We can run it here. You go ahead and keep running it. It's backside. The play breaks down due to coverage. Go ahead and pull it back just a little bit here, Boogie. Pulls up. Once again, I want to show this a couple times. Even though Jonathan was stunting inside, even though he gets held on the play, the laundry is on the field, which is why he sucked inside. You see the athleticism. He stems that right leg out on a slant, breaks off of it, just super impressive, almost like a basketball player on a crab step, pops out, and man, that explosion. You talk about your 1 second, 3 second, and 5 second explosions on a play where you get three forms of effort. Man, it just seems like Mr. Echols has an extra gear, and whenever he needs to explode out of anything, he can do it on a dime, and he just breaks out of that, destroys the quarterback, suplexes them, and looks like the $1 million man suplexing Virgil in 1992 right there.
Hey, I'll take that reference all day. Just want to
Yeah,
remind you guys,
yeah.
these videos going to go a little bit longer. We're going to try to keep them around 20 minutes, but I want to remind you that you have a voice. If there's something that you want to see, a particular player that you want Coach Jay to break down, leave it in the comments. If you want them to be shorter, you want them to be longer, we are riding with you guys. Whatever you guys
Mhm.
want to see, we will continue to do in this video series. We're going to try to drop at least one a week. We may drop 2 a week, just depending on how the content is flowing. But also, don't forget to smash the thumbs up. That helps, and share these things out. These are the type of videos that can continue to pull views at some different type of content. You know, one of the most biggest backhanded compliments I got on this series, Coach Jay, was this is the type of content I'm here for, not that copy and paste crap from VolQuest. So apparently I need to hire Coach Jay and quit feeding information from VolQuest. We're going to take a look at one more play here on Jonathan Echols. Again, class of 24, top-ranked athlete, one of the top-ranked, I think, number 3 in the country, 4-star prospect already in the boat. Coach Jay, what do you see on this last play here?
Well, it looks like we got trips to the short side of the field. Quarterback's kind of rolling out. Looks like they want to get him moving a little bit. Don't blame them there. Once again, Mr. Eccles, you sit still in that pocket, and he's going to know the reason why. Uh, Tackle is in the middle of a crossover step, trying to keep pace with him as he turns. A little hard to tell from this freeze if Jonathan's going to attack that shoulder. And when I say shoulder, I mean flat. Just another coach speak term for flat. You have obviously multiple receivers who can run that flat, run that short, hook to curl, or come back on the outside. And we definitely want to make sure that we don't lose our outside leverage there. We can move forward just a little bit though and see what Jonathan does with it. That's for sure. Breaks. See, he turns his shoulders for a second. And it's almost like he hears Coach Jay or his defensive coach talk for a minute and says, "Hey, get those shoulders slanted," because I guarantee you that running back or Mr. 50, can't really tell from there, maybe 51 or 58, can turn around and pick you up from there. And I'd bet dollars to donuts his assignments was flats on that play. He just breaks that really, really quick, gets there in a hurry, and look at the jump right there. Once again, one of the reasons I picked this play, just the athleticism of this kid. Do yourself a favor, and if you haven't seen this film, pick it up, watch it. He is just an athlete of of the highest order, and these are the types of special kids that are going to turn our defense around. They're the kind of special kids that are going to make our DBs jobs easier, and they're the kind of kids that are going to take you to that SEC championship game, that are going to take you to that playoff and lead you to that promised land.
Once again, guys, hope you are enjoying the film breakdown from Coach Jay. Class of 24 prospect Jonathan Echols already committed to Tennessee. Let us know what you thought of the format on this one. First, we sat down and recorded the first two at one
Hmm.
time. Now we're recording a couple of more, so we're seeing your comments in between those. But this time, Coach Jay put together some timestamps to kind of give you guys some different
Hmm.
looks. So maybe that causes a little bit of stagger in between as I'm trying to find the clips, but at the same time gives you a different look of different plays and what Coach Jay wanted to show you.
Yeah, it should be noted, normally when a coach is running film, as I'm sure of you have played or been around it, know, used to having that controller in my
Click,
hand and
click,
being
click,
able
click,
to
click, click.
freeze it and point, with a laser pointer or yell at someone while I'm freezing and rewinding and looping their mistake in slow motion. So definitely a little bit more of getting used to on my end, but I do think these timestamps will continue to help us be more succinct.
We're going to continue to drop these film breakdowns for you guys over the coming weeks. If it takes off, if it has enough success, if you guys get behind it enough, maybe we'll even do a bonus live stream in there somewhere and we'll interact with you guys as we watch some film. But that's going to do it for this one. Again, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/talking balls. Links are in the description below. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. More content coming your way. That's going to do it for this one. For Coach Jay, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talking Balls Network. Go Big Orange.